Hello and welcome all. So this is the live streaming with Atheist Republic Kolkata Consulate, and this is Rational Thinker speaking here. So I would like to introduce a couple of people here, and this is Sandeepan, Jeet, and Sam from the Atheist Republic Kolkata Consulate, and we're very much privileged to have these people here in the live streaming. So today we will be starting off the live streaming by individually interviewing each of them and letting you people know. And hopefully this is going to be a highly enlightening session. So let's start with Sandeepan. Hello, welcome, and can you please speak up and let me know about yourself? Each of you please introduce yourself one by one so that we know the audience knows more about the work you all people do and the kind of things we all have gone through. Yeah.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Sandeepan, and uh, I am one of the members of Atheist Republic Kolkata Consulate here. As for what I do, well, I am in the field of IT, and in terms of in Atheist Republic, I mostly we mostly work on building a healthy community of atheists in Kolkata. Maybe trying to find any resources available for them, any help them with any finding safe havens sometimes, and also arranging some meetings from time to time.
Next, Jeet, can you please let us know more about yourself? And it's great to have you here in this platform. And I hope the audience also knows more about you people. Can you just introduce yourself, your work?
Hello, Rocket. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm doing great. I'm doing good. And I hope how are you as well?
Yeah, we are fine. And
Uh,
thanks for this opportunity.
yeah,
And
yeah.
as Shandipan has already said, that we are into building a community of atheists in Kolkata. Actually, when this consulate started, it was the only one in the entire east and northeast of India. But of course, with our own efforts, with time, we have managed to build other consulates in these parts of India as well. And now they are fully functional. They are holding their own meets. So it feels great that we have managed to come to this stage, and
Uh,
we hope to move forward with new ideas, new stuff. That we have a lot of people with different interests, and they all want to work for us. And I think we can go forward doing new stuff into and do some community building work.
And hello, Sam. Welcome. You are welcome to Rational Thinkers platform, and it's a great privilege to have you here. Yes, I'm surely interested and would like to know more from you as well, from your perspective and what you have been doing. I think it will be a great introduction for our audience. Please do go ahead.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you for inviting us. And come on, it's a really good thing to in generally talk about this kind of topic because it's in India and mostly in South Asia. It's growing a little bit, but still there are stigma related to this kind of thing. Uh, and basically, about if I'm saying about myself, then my name is Sam and Samrat, as in, and as profession, my profession is I work as artist in different field, music and some 3D field and creative field and all this kind of basic thing. Uh, as you know, we all of us are from Kolkata. Uh, uh, it's kind of a mixed culture. I mean, when we three of us at least, I'm sure rest of my fellow atheists will agree with me that whenever we see Kolkata all in one and we see a little piece of India, na. So that's kind of, and in there, we daily we encounter people like Christians and Hindus, obviously, and Hindus, and also Muslims, and there are Sikhs and all. And we are just our quest or journey, you may say, that's for the betterment of our community and group, you can say, you know, atheist community and group. We are trying to find a place for us, and it's a bit hard, obviously, and not for me, for others, obviously, but we're trying hard to do those kind of things, and let's hope that it will get better day by day. Let's hope. Yep.
I think each of them have given a great introduction. I think there was one more person. I think Saibal Mitra was trying to join. It shows the device not connected up. Saibal Mitra, can you please, try connecting again? I mean, it shows device not connected. I think he's your member as well, right?
Yeah, he's trying to connect. I think he would be there in a minute or so.
Sure. I would also take him as well soon when he joins. Um, so let's get ahead. I think we have, as a atheist republic, Kolkata Consulate, you must have interacted with Armin Nawabi, Susanna, and Johanna as well. So can you tell about the experiences and also about the things you have learned through as well? I think there is also a lot of learning process as well in all of this, and I know there is a big controversy that happened last year. I will come back to it shortly. But one by one, can you please tell about your how did you get this idea that we have to start this Atheist Republic, and where did you come to know about organization like Atheist Republic, about Armin Nawabi and Susanna? Go ahead, one by one.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, Mr. Rational Thinker. I will take this question. Actually, the Atheist Republic has given us this opportunity to use their name to open clubs across the world where atheists can come together. It is a platform where atheists can come together and uh, form a community. We are highly indebted to them for that. And yeah, I am personally a big fan of Armin Nawabi. Uh, what can I say about that man? He has done a great work. He has done a great work. This is probably unprecedented. And yeah, we are deeply respectful for all the towards all the CEOs that we have had. Susanna is our current CEO. Ali was there before. I have personally joined the Kolkata Consulate back in 2017, and there were hardly a few hundred members at that time. And then there was a rapid growth. We grew from 300 to 1,000 within a period of 1 year only. And okay, we'll come to that controversy part as we go on. But yeah, as far as Amin Nawabi is concerned, we are all highly indebted to him, and we wish that he comes forward with new ideas that can help us build communities across the globe.
Yeah, sure. I think you answered it appropriately, and it's great to hear from you as well. So, I would like to know personally from Sam and Sandeepan about their ideas and their initial stage when they joined Atheist Republic and their interactions with Armin, and what also inspired them to continue this work. So, I would like to know from them as well. Yeah.
All right, Sam, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can say I was an ex-Hindu, you can say right now, obviously, because I belong from a Hindu family, but my upbringing was mostly secular in a way. But there was a thing that I grew up in a when I was around what it was 1 year or 2 year old. Mainly, I grew up in a Muslim family, and then my parents, they are Hindu, obviously, but somehow there was a little bit personal thing that happened back then, so they moved into a Muslim community and all. That was another thing. But the something that triggers me, it's mainly because of political influences regarding this kind of practices religious practices and that kind of thing. Like in Hinduism, we have many things related to the upper caste things, obviously. In Islam, there are things, for me, I'm personally saying, I'm not saying as, you know, what can I say? I'm not saying, I'm not representing atheist. Okay, I'm saying personally why I am like this. So mainly it's just like that, and this kind of thing there. But I mean, it's not going away anywhere. It still is getting there. Still is getting there. Still getting strong or weak someday. But the main turn was, yeah, getting know people, different type of people, different from different caste, from different religion. You know, when you get to know that, then you can actually understand that people, it is really stupid, it's really stupid to discriminate this kind of bias in between living human being. So it doesn't make sense to me. When I was a kid, it never made sense to me. But after that time, you know, I mean, never said I'm an atheist. Back in my college days or in my school, I never said I was an agnostic. But there was a particular time in my life when, you know, I had enough of it, representing myself as some damn Hindu upper caste. I had with it. And then I finally decided to come out. I have to do it. I had to do it. And I told myself, it was a little bit dark area for me mentally, because people were not going to accept me the way I am. So that's why it was a little bit hard for me. But end of the day, it went well for me. It took time. Definitely it took time. But end of the day, I accepted myself what I am. And I got that kind of courage from different people, definitely. Not in my surrounding, but, you know, like Christopher Hitchens, like Richard Dawkins, like Bill Maher. The comedy was a good thing for me back then. So I finally accepted myself, and I told people, no, don't call me Hindu anymore. I don't belong to that thing, you know. And that started something, and more argument came in my way. Why you are not Hindu anymore? From my, not from my parents, but some of my family members. And then for other my friends, my Muslim friends, they said, oh, you just went in a wrong way and that kind of thing. So you don't believe in God anymore, and you so that kind of thing. That's at a certain way, it boiled my blood a little bit. But then I understand, these people not gonna um, these people not gonna intimidate me anyway. So it's better for, I mean, whenever it comes in this kind of thing, you know, you have to first accept yourself, what you are. Then else we can think about changing things, changing society, changing people around us, whatever it is. First we have to accept ourselves. So that's the main thing. First we have to accept ourselves, and I did accept myself. It wasn't easy, but in a way I did accept myself. And now we are here. I have great friends in atheist community and all. Great friends. But yeah, it's just like that. That's how it started. I finally accepted myself as an atheist. I gave that permission to myself. Yeah, I can be whatever I want, and this is what I want. So that's for me. Sandeepan, I guess it's your turn.
All right, thanks. So in my case, let's just say, okay, I didn't start out as an atheist. I was mostly from childhood, of course. As things go, there was puja part going on in my family, since belong from a Hindu family. So, but from childhood, it was mostly, I was never interested in God as a whole. It was mostly like, my parents told me, you know, if you pray to a God, your wishes will get fulfilled, and God loves you, and blah blah blah. So I was mostly interested in the prasad, anyway. So, but as I started to grow out, so life started to happen, and what happens is that you start to understand that, you know what, not all your wishes get fulfilled. So then the question comes, why do I even you know, wish to a god? Like, if gods are that much useless, to like, they don't serve any purpose, to be honest. So I became kind of agnostic. I didn't know whether God exists or not, but I don't need a God. Yeah, and if God exists, they can come and prove to me that they exist, like they did to the prophets. Why don't they come now? It's so rare nowadays. Why does it happen? No, does not happen anywhere. So, like you have Chaitanya, you have Ramakrishna's stories in Hinduism, you have Kabir, and then all the recent madmen, like uh, let us say Sadhguru or such. So they said they claim they are prophets. So why doesn't God come out and just say that what, I exist or something like that? They don't. Now the problem that I have is that let's say now this eventually I came to the realization that like I was studying the Dawkins books and other things, and I came to the realization that it is very ignorant of us to think that in a universe this big, and then in that universe we are a very small planet that just evolved in a few billion years, and we will also die out in a few billion years more. And it is very ignorant for us to think that we are the center of this universe. We may not be. We just came to exist, that's all. We'll just go down, die down. And so it's very narcissistic idea to think that you are special, you matter so much that there is a God above you who will protect you. So yeah, I upon coming to that realization, I started to take more responsibility about my own decisions than leaving them to God sometimes or fate. Whatever I do is my own action, and I do not say thanks to a God or blame them because they don't exist in my life. So eventually, so that's how I cope with my religion, and I left Hinduism. And in terms of coming to, let's say, any like my ideas now, my idea is to just open a safe haven for everyone. Like, if you believe in God or not, it does not matter to me, as long as you are not, trampling over others' human rights. So if you are from an upper caste and you believe in God, but you do not discriminate against any like lower caste or such, then yeah, you are okay in my book. But if you think that okay, no, like if you practice those things, if you practice casteism, if you practice extremism, for example, if you are from Bajrang Dal, to be honest, I will not tolerate you. So that's now my belief, and that is the way I want. I am thinking about Atheist Republic Kolkata Consulate to provide a safe space for rational thinkers, atheists, and people who are agnostic, were agnostic like me. Right now, I'm a strong atheist, but I wasn't back then. So yeah, that's about me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks. Each of you shared a great experience. Okay, so last year I think Armin Nawabi posted about a sexy Gali photo, and there was a social media uproar, and it went all the way to the highest political level you can imagine, and there must have been a lot of problem going through at that time. So can you share what the Atheist Republic Kolkata Consulate was going through? I mean, just for a photo, I mean, it's an art, right? An art, and art can be an expression of creativity. But for an art to make people so outraged and so out of their mind that they go on lens to threaten on the Twitter, to threaten on online, and even hack the page, even to go on a court and challenge that thing. I mean, folks, we are not living in 60s or 70s or even the 20th century. We are living in 21st century, and art is a common expression. That's it, nothing more than that. But yet there was so much outrage from the very Hindus who claim that they're very tolerant and they're very good. So, okay, before I get to this question, there is Saibal Mitra. Sorry for, I mean, I'm really sorry. I just forgot. But Saibal Mitra, can you please introduce yourself and your experience, how you joined Atheist Republic, how you started working for with Armin Nawabi and Susan, and how they have been very much supportive. We would like to highly know about you. I think your device was not connecting at that time, so yeah, just do share your experience. Hello, Saibal Mitra, can you hear me? You are cordially welcomed as well. Can you please share, I mean, your journey and your joining Atheist Republic, and how you continued the work of building this consulate, and this kind of support you have received from Armin and Susanna. So can you just share all those experiences? Can you please hear? I think anybody can hear. Can anybody here in the audience hear Saibal Mitra? What is he speaking? Please do let me know in the audience. Can anyone hear him?
Mr. Rational Thinker, I think there is some problem with his audio.
Okay, okay,
So,
okay.
okay, so I will take up the question that you asked. A
Yeah,
very interesting
regarding
one.
last year or the controversy
Yeah,
and
yeah,
what.
that
Yeah,
that art fiasco. Yeah, I would like to share my views and what actually transpired at that time. See, whatever art that was made by the NGO of Atheist Republic as clubs that uh, our consulates are. Our consulates are basically clubs. We function with the name of the Atheist Republic. We are not directly connected to that NGO. So what transpired here was something that is unexpected, because suddenly I was going on a rickshaw one morning, and I heard that news, and everybody was shell shocked. Uh, but I think it also gave Atheist Republic a big name in India and probably across the world. Uh, as far as our blasphemous art is concerned, I think any art that is chaste or has to be chaste cannot really be called art. So we have to. Okay, I understand that religious feelings were hurt, and I don't know whether I would personally do that or not. But I think people in India should uh, try to understand what art is. Maybe in their daily life, they're not in a scenario to understand what it is. And what happened? Okay, I will tell you what happened after that. We practically stopped taking in new members for a very long time. Yeah, it was difficult. It was a very difficult time at that time.
yeah. I mean, I know I can understand what must have been going through, and I think regarding the lawyer case, what is the scenario? I think the case is in Supreme Court. So, what is the scenario and what's the situation now? I mean, I recently saw Susanna and Armin do post about it for the donations to fight the case, and regarding their account being removed from the Facebook and Twitter. So, can you tell a little bit about those aspects? Uh, I mean, like wh- where the situation stands right now, or is it getting better?
I personally don't know what is getting better regarding the case, but as far as I know, they have managed to collect the funds. They also posted a video regarding it. And see, I cannot say what the Indian courts will deliver in their judgment. But let's hope that we move forward in a progressive direction, not in a regressive one.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, was somebody saying something? Sam, was it? Is it right? Wanted to speak up anything about as well regarding this?
Yeah. I mean, I have some kind of perspective regarding this kind of thing because I saw actually what happened, and my perspective is kind of, I'm a little bit artistic in a way. That's my profession, so I can say this is not new for in terms of art. because it's happening from, I guess, centuries. It happened. Art changed things. People got fired up for this kind of art and this kind of thing. So it's nothing new for artists and all. And for in general people, I would say what Atheist Republic did and what Armin did and Susanna did, I think um, it's just like it's a little bit funny in a way, because as those Hindus, they are saying that they are really tolerant of things, and I will not go with Christianity and all right now, but another one, Muslims, they are saying the religion of peace, but still, I mean, we atheists, we just doodled something, the sexy Kali art and that kind of art. We just doodled something, and they just got pissed off with it, isn't it? I mean, you can see the insecurity, you can see how much vulnerable they are, you can see how much they want us to die in a way, and in a literal way, I guess. And you can see how much vulnerable they are, and how much, I mean, your super mighty god and goddesses, and for other, definitely god, I mean, they are so much powerless in front of us. Is it like that we doodled and your whole religious structure just fall down, and people are getting pissed off for that? I mean, if your god is so much vulnerable, then I don't think it's real. It's too much man-made. It sounds like man-made when you act like that. When you act
If
that kind
there
of
would have been
intolerant.
any god, the gods would have handled the issue.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
definitely,
it's just
isn't it?
somehow crazy that gods don't even come up live anyway. Like
Yeah,
they just send
definitely.
these henchmen.
I have nothing to do with people. I made fun of God, and yeah, definitely God comes with a different kind of things, theory that I will burn in next life or I will burn in hell for that. Yeah, that's good, but still, I'm here right now. Still, I mean, why people? I mean, God should be superhero kind, isn't it?
And let
He's
me tell you
controlling
one thing.
everything, he's watching
Yeah,
everything, but
this
he still cannot do a damn thing. He will send his goons, his or her goons, just to see us dead, separated
A god
shoulders
by
on that kind
definition
that
is
kind of
supposed
thing.
to be an entity that has some amount of control or power. I don't
Somehow,
know.
definitely some amount of control or power, and I'll let I'll give his God rest. Okay, no, it's okay. You are saying, on the other hand, that you're tolerant. Your religion don't permit killing people. Your religion is a religion of peace and that kind of thing. You should see the inboxes. You know, you see the inboxes, how much peaceful you guys are. We know that, but it doesn't matter. We were in a way, we were prepared for that. In a way, we were prepared for that. We'll doodle something and they'll just lose their mind, and they'll just lose their, they won't doodle us back. They won't doodle us back. They want our head gone. It's just like that much peaceful, you see. So that's a
you,
hypocrisy.
you know
And in general, it is a structural hypocrite. But as for another part, definitely sentiments get hurt. I can understand that. Yeah, I can understand that. But the point is,
sentiments do get hurt when we talk about sexy Kali image. But the main question is, this is not something restrictive only about Hinduism. I mean, because this is something close to what happened with Atheist Republic. That's where the discussion starts. But we look at all around the world. I mean, you post about Prophet Muhammad's art or a cartoon. There is beheading. There is killing. You post about something about Hindu gods. Okay, you start like people go berserk in their mind. I mean, they start behaving in the same way how a jihadi behaves. There is not much of a difference in terms of behavior, but only thing that so far has controlled Hindu population, the right wing group, is constitution. Had it not been for the constitution, had it not been for the law and order, I think if they were purely following the religious scripture or the Shastras, they would have gone on a beheading and killing. That's what it is also there. Other means people who insult, they keep on going through that direction. They would have gone, surely. Also, one of the interesting things I would okay, I think one more person has joined. Hi, Andy. Welcome to Atheist, sorry, Rational Thinkers platform. Of course, Atheist Republic Kolkata Consulate is with us. Hello, Andy. Can you please? It's been pleasure to have you here. Can you please introduce yourself and can you please talk about your experience and what you would like to share? Surely we are all interested. आप और ज़रूर बताइए अपने बारे में, अपने एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में और आपका जो थॉट्स है. Sure, go ahead.
Um, okay. Hello, everybody. It's nice to come on a national, even international platform like yours, live stream. Well, I am Andy from Atheist Republic Kolkata Consulate, and I left religion officially. You may call it a leaving religion. Happened with me in 2013, 14, around that time. Before that, I've always been agnostic, but from 2011 to 13, 14, I was more into Buddhism. And being in Buddhism, I know we came to know that there are no gods in Buddhism. At least that's what Siddhartha Gautama taught. After that, now the later monks they set up just a ritualistic religion like others. What I found bad about Buddhism was the misogyny, that women cannot be enlightened like men, and these sort of things are there. So that pushed me away from Buddhism, which already had no gods but some misogyny there. Due to that, I left last part of religion, Buddhism, and became a full atheist. In 2015, I found out about Atheist Republic, and I don't see Deepda here. He actually introduced me to Atheist Republic's Kolkata Consulate. He told me about how we are gathering people and building up a community. That's what I needed at that time. Because in India, when you live religion, in any South Asian country, not just India, you look at Bangladesh or Pakistan, you can see the same thing. When you live religion, you're not living your own faith system and changing yourself. That's okay. As long as I am living all worship rituals and living life my own way, I don't practice casteism, untouchability. That's my personal choice, and that's okay. Up to that part is okay. But if I, what can I say? If I want to live life, and we humans being social beings, live life with other people, and then you have to be social, you have to meet other people, work with other people, live with other people. That's why community becomes necessary, and that's what Deepda also said to me, that we are trying to build such a thing here in Kolkata, and that's how it all began. And throughout that last 3-4 years, from 2015 to 17, I've gained some great friends like Jeet, Sandipan
Thanks, man. Thanks.
here. So we have
It's actually
started.
great, Andy, isn't it, that we have become such great friends through this Kolkata consulate. In fact, I find that almost everyone here has at least 30 friends in common. It's great to see that we have managed to do at least some part of what we wanted to do. I think there's where our success lies.
Well, we have just begun, and in that area, community building area, most of the work is left to be done.
Yeah,
And as far as
most of it is actually left.
most of it is left to be done. And as far as you say about how we, as we are dissecting other belief systems and stuff, see, all these belief systems were made in the first place to build up empires by those rulers. So you can't expect loving kindness, compassion, empathy, understanding. These things cannot be expected from such ideologies. Or even the political ideologies, they have the same agenda to divide and rule. You can't expect something healing from them. They are not meant for healing. So you have
Yeah, let's
to
do
move
something
on
that
from
will
that.
heal the world. Let's do something.
Yes, around the world. Around the world. It's not just one country or one region. You have to move on from this point. And if you move on from this point, then the next point we are seeing is how much are we contributing to that healing? What are we giving them in place of non-belief? We are taking away their belief. Okay, that is
Yeah, let's
something
give them
harmful.
something in return, a form. Let's give them a form, a society, a society
Yes,
that where things would be much better.
but people
People
are
would be
asking for
respected.
principles and values. Are talking that you atheist people, you don't have any moral values. We have moral values. This is their point.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Their point is that you don't respect anything, so you don't have moral values. We respect and these imaginary beings, so we have moral values. Of
Yeah,
course,
we
Well,
in
respect
the name
human
of
rights.
those,
We
yes, their
respect
way of
human rights.
respect is different. They have got honor killings. We don't do.
We
well,
don't
we
We
do
don't
don't
that.
do
need a
that
book.
here.
We are our morals are not defined by any books or any shastras. To be honest, what is
Yes,
right,
we
we
also
do.
have our books. We also have our books. The Constitution is the International Charter of Human Rights is there. International Criminal Code is there. There are various books. The ISO 9001, 14001, 8001. Those are our books. And I know
Yeah,
some
and
engineers who call them that those are all
don't forget
sacred books.
Harari. His books are there as well.
Yeah, definitely those books are there for us until and unless they started changing all of them. Okay, come on, you have to count it. Until and unless they are changing something in that book. Yeah.
So here is the question
Yeah,
by
the
one of the
question here.
viewers. My question is religion able to keep the value of humanity? What do you think? I think you all have
Uh,
answered already this one. This was
there is
one
a
of the questions.
hashtag going on in Twitter right now on this very subject. The hashtag is religion kills humanity. And I can give you 1,000 examples. I will give you one example of today. A news I got today is from Afghanistan. The Taliban have shot a wedding procession. A wedding procession was shot by the Taliban because they were playing music. I don't understand. Where is the part of humanity in this? These
Killing human beings
non-religious
is
people,
not humanity.
yes,
Killing human
killing
beings.
human beings.
Yeah, taking on this person's question, Mr. T2, if religion means something that gives you an ability to judge, then I think my religion is humanism. And yeah, it has definitely something to give to this world. But as far as the pre-enlightenment religions of this world are concerned, I think they were made for a different world, a world that existed at that point of time. So why continue with that? Why not move forward with this new religion of humanism?
That's very interesting. Also, one of the interesting things is I think uh, uh, you might have heard about the Vienna Circle, which valued highly the empirical evidence over the metaphysics. How many of you have been? I mean, I know there is you all have become atheist and you no longer follow any religion and you are moving on with humanism. But one of the fundamental things is everybody has kind of some sort of inspiration or role model or some sort of scientist or somebody to look up to. I mean, each one of you, can you name any of them, that any such role model or scientist or inspiration which helped you?
For
Mine is
me, it's
not a
definitely
scientist. Well,
yeah.
scientist, by scientist, there is Professor Stephen Hawking, but before that, the first icon who encouraged me to question belief systems was an author, a Bengali author, Sharotchandra Chattopadhyay. He lived life in various countries, in various cultures, and had seen hardships and been through hardships. Just he was a what can I say about him? He was like a traveler as well as a rock star kind of person of that era. His books was banned because he talked about a downfall of the British Empire, but also he talked about how Asian countries can unite and go forward, leaving their religious and caste divides. These ideas were in his books, so his books were banned by the British in 1930s. And I found him to be one of those few atheists who talked up against all kinds of divisions. Untouchability and casteism was not talked about by most of the authors of his time. Most of the authors from privileged background of his time. He was one of those few in Bengal who did that. So he was the one who initiated in me. And then Professor Hawkins and Carl Sagan's, of course, these people's works now guided me in these present times.
Yeah, I mean, you had been interesting, but I would like to know each one of you. I mean, I think Sam and Sandeepan haven't spoken, so can you both also speak up? I mean, share your
Yeah,
favorite scientist or inspiration or role model, which you might
yeah,
look
yeah,
up to, or
definitely.
say, like, okay, he is the one who inspired me to move and
Um,
closely. Yeah.
I think for me, I think my answer will differ from most. For as a role model, when I look up to people, there are several. Definitely, there are several role models, as Andy said. Hawking, and some of Bengali writers and some of freedom fighters. Definitely, they are role model of ours. Definitely, because that's meant to be. They pushed the boundary, and now we're here. So that's why it's definite. But at a certain point, after that point, I will say my role model is people who have a little bit rationality in them. That person could be religious, that person could be non-religious, that person could be educated, that person could be non-educated, and that kind of person. That person could be a 5-year-old child, or that person could be a 8-year-old guy or a woman. They inspire me in day-to-day life, and because it's really important for me to get inspired, and this kind of thing is, I think it's all for us. But that kind of person, a rational thinker, whether he's an atheist or not, or she's an atheist or not, it really doesn't matter to me. But what matters, that person ability to judge things in situations which are politically driven or not, and that kind of thing, that give me hope every single day. When I see people, I meet people, every single day I encounter that kind of people. It's not like they are always good from tip to toe and that kind of thing. It's really not like that, but still that particular bit of humanity, as we are saying, because it's getting a bit rare these days, but still I have hope, definitely. So for my role model, I would say those kind of people who think, who judge, and who think in a rational way. That could be anyone, that could be anybody. So they are my role model. Because they gave me hope. They gave me hope that something good maybe will happen in life today, tomorrow, who knows. So that's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandeepan has been quiet for some time. Can you like to speak on this?
All right. So yeah, of course. So in my case, I don't say there was an initial role model at first. In my see in my case, it was basically God was useless for me, so I never needed that notion later in later life. Uh, but in case of becoming a strong atheist, uh, I think the main role model was played by Dawkins, and uh, like Dawkins played a huge role model there. And later on, I'd say like mainly science took took its course, like going through the all the documents that I had to read, thesis papers, or learning more about the universe also out of my own curiosity, uh, kind of made me understand how frivolous this entire religious aspect is in life. uh, and in terms of a proper role model, mm, there isn't any strong one, that much I can say. Like I haven't followed anyone like that.
That's a good point. I mean, for me, if I have to tell my experience, for me, it was more about common sense and understanding. Common sense for me, mainly. I did study little bit about the Zen stuff. I mean the about Bodhidharma, and he was somebody very critical of rituals and all those stuff. But after that, mainly for me, if I have to talk, I think I would take Yuval Noah Harari as sort of great person. I think he's been fantastic. His books, his writing are thought provoking. I find it to a great
Yeah,
extent.
definitely,
Yuval Noah
definitely.
Harari. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, he's
My
kind
role
of like,
model as well, Mr. Rational Thinker, my role
Yes.
model.
yeah. I mean, I actually ended up finishing two books. Third book, I'm just completing. Fourth book, I'm about to read. So his works are really, really thought provoking. I mean, so certain things which he talks about, especially with respect to society, history, and in terms of general public relations, right? People never have a given thought about it for a long time. I mean, he brings a very different set of new ideas, new way of thinking, I guess. So I really
Yeah,
like
I
him
was
more.
completely
Yeah.
blown away after reading his works. And in fact, I will tell you about an incident that happened just a few days back. I told one of my seniors about this book. He told me that he has also read the book. He's in his mid 50s now. He told me that, see, if you read this book, you will become an atheist. So I think somewhere down the line, uh, it is not possible for him to become an atheist at this age. Maybe because I have never seen anybody becoming an atheist beyond the age of 35. That's my experience, being in this consulate for so many years. But even he has found out something. I think that book hits everyone. Maybe they will not become an atheist, but still it will haunt them.
It's not the point, whether you become an atheist or agnostic or that kind of thing. It's the point is just to be aware of common things, you know, just to be aware of common things, a little bit rational thinking. That's what we need. It's for me, it's really not necessary that you have to become one, but you have to think from your brain sometime, and that really matters. That really matters.
Okay, the first point is that I have become an atheist. That's my personal decision.
Yeah,
I never tell another person to become an atheist. Becoming
yeah,
an atheist is like part of
Personal
your life
decision.
journey.
Yeah.
It's a part of your life journey, and I find it really heartening, Rashid, that you also love Yuval Noah Harari. He is one of those of our present times who guides with me. Just a day back, I was talking to Sam about his books,
yeah.
showing
Good
us
viewers.
what we are going through, as well as giving us at least hints, at least searching for answers. His, his books have some positive vibes in them. Obviously, if there are some other economist people who I found out recently after going into finance economics, they are also on the same page with him about society and sociology, and he has discussed things with them. You can understand that by their interviews, by their YouTube videos, that they are discussing things on these subjects at the same time. And what you said, what Sam said, people will be changing, not becoming atheists, but just questioning things. That's what is needed. I don't want people to become atheists without understanding anything. If you become an atheist after reading all the scriptures, after looking at the world and observing, not just looking, but observing, realizing, okay, let's leave all religions and just
Yeah,
be secular humanist or some other ideal that gives you fulfillment as well as helps the society and all beings. If you reach there, okay, it's on your own. But more than that, what is needed is change your lifestyle from the superstitions, pseudoscience, leave these behind. I work in an engineering firm. I work with 96 to 98% religious people. I mean, theists, not religious practicing, but theist people. And they are engineers. They are all critical thinkers. They are far better than me. Most of them are my seniors. And their work is so pinpoint precision, so precise that foreigner clients are happy with working with them. They want to work with them. They give them awards. So they are awarded engineers and they are theists. But in real life, in practical life, they're very much critical thinking. But they are not one of those, the hardcore extremist people. They don't like extremism.
True, true. That's a valid point. And one more thing, in fact, *Sapiens* just tells you about history and how the society gets shaped, how society is influenced, and how stories, fictional characters dominate the society. I think to an extent, I do agree. It's a fact. But apart from that, Homo Deus was something which I finished reading, and no author could have written about the future of humanity better than him. I mean, very few authors write something future and talk about what pros and cons are in the future, really. That's what he does in Homo Deus. And he does talk about
Yes.
we are biological algorithms, which is kind of,
We are all
which would
data, pieces of data.
yeah, but I would say that's what he mentions in at least text, that biological algorithm. If that is the case, then what we see in the nature or what we experience as objects are all the data. Our body is just a processing system. It's running an algorithm to interpret or kind of make up things out of the objects, right? That's a very much profound idea. I mean, it will, if it does give a blow, it gives a severe blow to people who think there is something called a soul, even if they don't believe
Oh,
in god. But
oh.
if they think something called a soul is there, something called a super consciousness is there, it gives a big tight blow to them. And I in fact, I once I do read the book, there are many things I actually end up remembering. I mean, very few things I do forget. Currently
Well,
I'm
he
reading
cited
this.
the best thing about this book is his citations. He cited the CERN research. He
Yeah,
cited
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
US Caltech research on these subjects of soul and
Caltech
this
research. And there was one
consciousness.
more research about the monkeys. I forgot the name of the
Yes,
scientist.
yes.
Monkeys giving the bananas, okay? So one monkey, both
Uh,
bananas are given, they're happy to take. But one is given short, the other one is given the smaller one. The smaller monkey who got that, he throws it away. He wants the other person who got the same banana size, he wants that same as well. That was interesting. And he compares that how human psyche also behaves, how we are not different from them. Of course, when we talk about humans, we have actually evolved species. Okay, we have evolved species. We have greater intelligence than the other species when it comes to manipulating things. Okay, I think when
we
it comes to manipulation, yeah. Currently, I'm
uh,
reading this book, 21 Things for 21st Century, 21 Lessons for 21st Century. I think that's another
yes.
great addition. Yeah.
Ah, so there you will find some answers, while other questions also arise, and he has left it with that left it in a positive note that there will be answers. He's searching for answers for those questions also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True.
And
So
as
if
far
you
you said that we are an evolved species, evolution doesn't stop, and we are not evolved. We are still evolving.
evolving, yeah, I mean, just in the present context, I'm saying, yeah, that's true. But
Yes, we
present
have evolved a
context, I'm
bit.
taking.
And as far as that
Yeah,
claim of most intelligent goes, I cannot support that claim right now. Right after this
yeah. To an
26
extent,
have
I
ended.
agree. I agree. But
Uh,
my point was, when you talk about intelligence in terms of manipulation, I mean, we are the
um,
one among the all species. We are the most who have been able to manipulate the nature.
yes,
That's what I'm.
terraforming is
Yeah.
something we have done. No one
Yeah,
else have
in
done.
terms of that, I'm talking. Yeah.
No,
I
that
don't know
is
if
true.
that is
Like,
intelligence.
that is
I don't
intelligence.
know
It's
if
a social intelligence.
intelligence.
It is a
Oh
Social
social.
yes,
intelligence, but
we.
how humans manage to interact with nature and how they get the best out of nature. I mean, building up on that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and
I agree. If you look at Homo Deus, I think there is example of Deep Blue. There is example of, I think, IBM's Watson. Then there is example of Alpha Zero. or Stockfish 8. Okay, these are some of the intelligent AI run computers. Okay, they beat human intelligence. I have no doubt about that, to be honest.
Just
No,
recently, I
but that
saw
is
news
still
in
a
DW.
controlled environment. Like AI that beats in human intelligence is like they still do not beat it in every single term. They just beat it in some specific task. Like so
Yeah.
they are basically designed to beat humans when it comes to a very specific task, not a overall
Mhm.
achiever like that we humans are. To be honest, a human will still beat AI in all other aspects of life. So that's how you should look at it.
Yeah.
I have
So
a question
before,
about AI.
yeah,
I have a question about AI. Can AI think abstractly like humans do?
actually there are, there is one quote I have to remember. The quote is from the Alan Turing. Okay, he is the father of modern computing. He said, "The human brain is the advanced data processing system." That's what he said.
Yeah.
So if you can decode the working of a human brain, the algorithm, you can have a computer which can very much do like humans. And in fact, that's what Alan Turing thought when he tried to make Turing machines. You can search in Google, and it's also discussed in all the books of Yuval Noah Harari. It's a very interesting point. However, I think we are still long way off. So right now, we would not
Oh,
say AI will take over the world. Okay, right now, I wouldn't say. Uh,
Well, I would say if AI is supposed to take over the world, since I am from IT, I can tell you this much: if AI is going to replace at least the programmers, the clients has to exactly specify what they need. So that
yeah,
abstraction level will itself block the AI from even becoming any super beings. But
yeah,
in terms of, let's say, AI being more efficient or thinking more abstractly,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
it
yeah,
is very difficult because an AI still needs data set. The data set is still coming from the human, and as long as there is human influence, the AI will learn from it. For example, so in the recruiting of in private companies, they use the applicant tracking system, and sometimes they also use the AI to evaluate which candidates to pick. And statistically, you can look it up. It has been seen that like the AI is showing the same discriminative behavior that human recruiters do. So yeah, like
that's
it's
because
it's
AI
hard.
has been algorithm of AI has been written by the humans.
Oh yeah, and the data set is coming from the human behavior.
Humans, yeah.
I
So
mean,
So
you
yeah,
guys are saying,
before I wrap it up, before I wrap it up, sorry to interrupt, but before I do
no, no,
wrap
no.
it up, everything, I think you all gave great insights. But from each one of you, I would like to have an opinion on what are the future works for Atheist Republic Kolkata Consulate, which they would like to continue ahead, or which they would like to means like enhance as the time goes forward, and what are the go aheads, I mean, areas where you think people need to focus on, work on. So if I want statements from each one of you, and after that I will be wrapping it up. Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Rational Thinker. I would like to answer some of that. See, we need to work towards making literature in vernacular languages. In fact, I came across a book called Atheism and Secularity. It mentioned that there are nearly 300 texts on rationalism in the Telugu language alone. I don't know how much of that is available in the Bangla language, but I would like to definitely work on that. We need to generate literature for the masses who don't have much knowledge of English. So that is an area where we can work. There have been many great atheists in Bangla, like Vidyasagor, and of course, what Andy mentioned, Sharath Chandra Chattopadhyay. They all composed in Bangla. So that is an area where we can work. Uh, and yes, there is a big environmental challenge to the world now. So that's another area where we can work in. And yeah, as far as other areas are concerned, then okay, let me come to the point how atheism can actually spread. See, if more and more people can go through college, if there are better health facilities available to people, if people get into new types of jobs, then atheism would definitely spread. In fact, I have seen it amongst my own friends. Many of them have become atheists with time. In fact, when I look at my school or college buddies and find that many of them have become atheists, it's kind of relieving. Uh, and it also speaks volumes about the upcoming world. I think it is slowly going to turn atheist. It's my hope that it would.
Okay, son.
Yeah, yeah. I also second what Jeet said. Like, if we provide better infrastructure and facilities to people, people will be able to believe more in themselves, and that makes them more liberated from like leaving their fate in some abstract deity's hand. And in terms of how Atheist Republic Kolkata Consulate is supposed to run in future, like we are still going to be trying to make the safe haven for atheists around Bengal and its like and the other adjacent states. We are also trying to make it more active in terms of physical activity in the local grounds, increasing it daily. And what most important what I am trying to basically focus on is how to make atheists more politically active, so that they are more aware of the kind of issues to vote for, the kind of issues to push their local representatives for. So, and if they can spread the awareness, like if they can become active and spread the awareness, then they then atheism will in turn become a daily thing anyway, because it will be normal with time. That is my belief, and that is how I want to proceed with this. Yeah.
Um, yes, mainly I have 2 points that I should point out, I guess. The first one is a little bit politics in it, but the first point is that in generally, mostly we point out in India right now, we point out things are going wrong definitely because of the right wing, because of the far right wing and all. They are making things hard for us atheists and all. Yeah, I do agree, definitely I do agree with that, but there's a large problematic phase happening in left wing or in centrist. you know uh, I, I can openly say I myself come as an leftist, hardcore leftist. I do support that, but I can see there are a huge problem in representation, because in leftism and in left party, politically saying, there are problems when you are representing things like atheism. They are almost like a little bit problematic, because they're almost like a little bit pseudo right wing in them. They always had this kind of thing, and in place of authority there are problems, things like that. So in India, my main concern is, people, parties who call themselves secular party and parties for atheist. I mean, first of all, yes, they are not atheist party. We really need political backup, we really need political help. And I'm telling from the left wing, I don't have to point out, to the right wing that everything is going wrong for them. Left wing is also responsible at a certain time. But yeah, definitely, as an atheist we need political support, sooner or later. I don't know when it will come, when people will not be afraid to speak loudly on stage, live political stage, about their atheism or their agnosticism or their critical thinking. Most of the people don't. Most of the successful political people, they don't represent this kind of thing. And secondly, the second point is regarding my community, my atheist community or agnostic community. I have a little bit problem. I am also the reason for it, obviously, but I have a little bit problem with atheist community that you know people are not active enough, first of all. Because on the other hand, if I sarcastically say, on the other hand, you know they follow like sheep. They don't question things, they follow like sheep. you know but on our side, we supposed to be the rational thinker. We differ on many things. I differ from Jeet on some point. I differ from Andy from some point. But that's okay, we can live with differences. But still, we agree on one thing, that things must move forward, things must get clear. But for activities in India, I will say definitely in India, activities are really getting slow. I mean, for rational thinker, you are doing a fabulous job for us. Definitely, we need more of you guys. We need this kind of thing to continuous our activism and all. But in my community, in my atheist community, yeah, I mean, there are several people who are willing to do. There are several people who are actually doing, but the numbers are really little. We need more of this. I know we have differences. All of us have differences each other because we think and that makes us different from each other, and we are very much aware of that. But at a certain point, we need to come out for each other. We need to build up our community sense through, I think Andy will say more good things about it, definitely. But there's a certain lack of it. In any religion, in any religious kind of thing, you will see people don't question. People are following like sheep. Yeah, they are. They actually are. But what we are doing as an atheist, come on, it's really not good. We need to get together at certain point. And many things that depends on my generation, many things I am hopeful for the next generation too, because one generation cannot change everything at once. We have to give next generation chance, and they will do better. And for the future, definitely. And another thing, we need to discriminate. We need to not discriminate, we need to differentiate, I guess, that atheism is not a religion. We don't preach atheism. We don't need to preach atheism. We preach critical thinking. It's not about doing this kind of thing or stunts or doing that kind of stunt. It's not about that. Atheism is not a religion. Some people do say you guys are Satanist and all. They don't even know what atheism is. But on the other hand, uh, there should be more atheists know what atheism is. I do think so. I do think so. But that's the point. Atheism is not religion, so it will take time. It will take time to regroup ourselves, and I'm hopeful for that. But we need to get people like you, rational thinker, people like Urban, people like those who are actively doing things. We need more of you guys. We need more of you guys. So that's my point.
Sam has already begun the point about community building, and that's what I began with when I first introduced that most of our work is left to be done. Sandeepan and Sam both went into politics, but I've learned from Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in India, without social change, socio-economic change, there is no chance of any political influence. We are right now not even a vote bank. So never ever hope that any political party or any political platform will be there for us in India. In Bangladesh, there is a political platform for us. They have become a vote bank. Their numbers have grown so much that now they are considered a vote bank. In India, we have not reached that part because we have not built our community. And as Sam has said, we need to build that first. But the path to building that is not through politics, but through socio-economy. If we come together to work, when we start working together, earning livelihoods and creating new livelihoods together, then and only then we will be able to build up a community. And I've seen this firsthand happening with the indigenous peoples of India. They are building up their community very well, very strong now. They're getting stronger. Thankfully, it's a good thing for India that the indigenous people are getting stronger. And then we have been really close to LGBTQ community. We have been helping them in Bengal and Kolkata area. We have seen them how they have succeeded in pushing their agenda at least for 377, and now they are going for the marriage equality and other rights at workplace. This is
Yeah.
possible because they have built a community, and not just for social work but for livelihood purposes. So they work together on weekdays and then they relax together on the weekends. So their community has been building up for the last 20, 30 years. Now they have reached to that political influence area. Now we are seeing political representation of LGBTQ in Indian political parties, which was
In fact,
unheard of in
Kolkata consulate.
2010.
In fact, Andy, I think we should also mention here that the Kolkata consulate had been attending pride marches for years now.
And we have been even organized, become part of organizing the Pride March lately
Actually,
and the carnivals.
Yes.
in fact,
That's
they have become a
because
part of us, and we have become a part of them.
yes,
Yes,
and
definitely. We
that's
have become a part
because
of them
their
and we are
platforms
proud
are
of it.
already there. That's because they have already built the platforms,
Yep.
and in their platforms we are more than welcome because they have faced this homophobia, transphobia from religious leaders and religious people, including sadly their own family members.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
now we have become like a family together, atheists and LGBTQ people. The next most important marginalized section we are hoping to get together is Indian indigenous people, the Bengali indigenous people who have always been kind of shunted, have always been overshadowed by the Aryan migrants or the upper caste of Bengal.
You
So
can call
that's why,
Indo-Gangetic migrants. Indo-Gangetic.
yes,
Yeah,
the
that would be more
Indo-Gangetic, the
appropriate.
Indo-European migrants, the descendants of Indo-European migrants, they have overshadowed the indigenous people of Bengal. Now, the indigenous people of Bengal have their own atheistic philosophies, atheistic cultures, their festivals, rituals. Well, there are some rituals, but mostly nature worship based, and the rest of that is completely atheistic and mostly related to nature. So they were more into hunting gathering.
Also,
Later on,
yeah.
when they
So
started settlers, even as settlers, there was not much deity worshipping. They were worshipping the rice paddy itself or the owl that eats the snakes and rats. So they were worshipping those creatures and nature itself. Apart from that, their cultures, their festivals, they don't have any priests. So there's priestly class, clergy class. There is no notion of clergy class in them. If now you can imagine that if you build this new society without a clergy class, you have to
Andy,
reimagine whole of India.
Andy, let
That's what
Mr.
Dr.
National,
Ambedkar taught us. Okay,
Andy,
so
Andy,
that's what Jeets tried to say, that we need to bring these literatures. Okay.
Andy, I think Mr. Rational Thinker would like to have his dinner now.
no, no, I
Isn't
already
it?
had a dinner. Already
It's
have,
time.
but one more. I think I personally this is one of my favorite. One mentioned about climate change. This is my favorite topic, and I think I do think atheists, rationalists, even critical thinkers do need to come on this point and be loud out in public if it
A
requires
high five,
supporting.
man. High
Uh,
five. I am in
yeah,
on that area. I work in that field.
that's I think a paramount issue.
Yeah,
I
Andy
would
does a
say
lot of this stuff.
because this is one area where if you want to build community, I think climate change itself is an opportunity. I would say in
Yeah,
many ways.
definitely, definitely.
Why? Because you can
Both
Uh,
have
socially
a
and politically,
sustainable
definitely.
energy, you can be building renewable energy, you can be doing zero waste management, zero waste, I mean no wastage, okay? Then you can
yes,
have
yes, circular economy.
you can have an economy where agriculture is not done in today's way but is done in a more productive way, in the sense it doesn't cause release of CO2 or greenhouse, but it in fact takes back the CO2. Okay, those sort of ideas. I mean, how many of you have heard of Project Drawdown?
I have.
Oh, you have heard? I think Paul Austen. Yeah. I have been a great follower of that. I mean, I really like their solution, and I think it's still a great work which they are doing. And do check it out. This book, Drawdown book, the single most plan to reverse the global warming, folks. Do check this book out in the Kindle in the
Definitely,
Amazon.
definitely will do. Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and online website is there, drawdown.org. Yeah, you can check there as well. So I think I'll be wrapping it up. But before I wrap, next time when we do talk about, I would be more talking about Bengal. I mean, this one live is not sufficient enough to talk about issues and problems in Bengal. I think it requires a separate live. So I would be talking
Yeah.
about Bengal and about
That's a huge. You have gone into another
Yeah,
whole
exactly.
area.
yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
mean it can't be possible in one live. Sorry, it requires a separate live streaming as well. So issues in Bengal and the rise of right and the left and politics and even the indigenous people and
Yeah.
tribes which are there. So these things are, and also impact of climate change. I mean, I heard recently that Kolkata will be underwater in a few years. So
10
this
years.
requires a
Calm
okay,
down,
yeah,
much
yeah.
Already
bigger.
started. Already started.
Okay, so these require some serious attention, and this
Definitely.
requires a completely separate live streaming. Yeah. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining, and it's been a great pleasure. I will be
Thank you
wrapping it
very
up.
much. Thank you
And
very much. Thank you very much.
viewers, thanks for watching, and whoever is watching, please do share the live in wherever social media platform you are there. Do share it and like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notification. Thanks. This is National Thinkers.
Yes. Thanks everyone,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Live
you.
long and prosper.
Thank you. Thank you.
and do
Yep.
subscribe to Rational Thinkers.
Definitely do subscribe to them. Definitely. They're doing a really good job. Definitely.